When you hear this, what do you think of? Now, you probably didn't think about language when you heard that, but recent research has determined that these clicks may be exactly that. These sounds, yes, they are officially termed clicks, come from sperm whales, the largest toothed mammal on Earth. I'm no marine scientist, whale biologist, or language expert, but I do use language to communicate every day, and I'm fascinated by the possibility that another species has formed a complex system of communication. Today, I will be discussing recent developments in our understanding of sperm whale communication. I will describe the structure of this potential language, why more research is needed, and what doing that research entails. Scientists have long known that sperm whales have complex social structures. Now we see information which indicates the presence of a phonetic alphabet, and by connection, language. According to an article published just this year in the scientific journal Nature, sperm whale calls follow certain patterns with groupings of clicks called codas. While scientists have known this for years, it has become more apparent just how complex their communication system is. Scientists have observed defined variations in the duration and tempo of codas. Duration refers to the total sum of time in between clicks, and tempo is the length of the coda as a whole. Rhythm also distinguishes codas from one another. This is the term for the variation present between codas when the duration is equalized for, or simply put, the number of clicks in a specific coda. Also observed are ornamentations, where an extra click that breaks the typical pattern is added to a coda. That was all a lot of terms, and the speech is not meant to be a lesson in how to converse with sperm whales, so to keep things simple, the takeaway message is that sperm whales communicate using codas. Codas are a short series of clicks which generally last less than 2 seconds. Sperm whales vary these codas a few different ways, including by adjusting tempo, rhythm, and adding ornamentations. The authors of the study propose that together, these elements form a phonetic language. So how do we know that codas actually mean anything? What if codas just have random variations? Maybe the whales are just bored. The level of structure found in sperm whale calls indicates that what is occurring is more than just noise. An article titled Toward Understanding the Communication in Sperm Whales, published June of 2022 in the academic journal iScience, reveals that sperm whales have special natal dialects. Young calves go through a process of learning this dialect by babbling, similar to how a human child learns to pronounce words. In addition to this, the primary study published this year showed that there are 18 defined rhythm types, as well as a finite amount of coda durations actually used by sperm whales. Despite these constraints, sperm whales mix these variations to create thousands of defined codas. This level of regularity and complexity points to something of meaning being communicated. That being stated, it is currently debated whether this is in fact speech. An article published in the magazine Anthropocene sums it up well, informing readers that while some scientists are very excited by the possibility of the presence of a sperm whale language, others feel less sure that we should jump to the conclusion that codas are communication and the way humans understand it. This article informs that Luke Rendell, a marine mammal researcher at the University of St. Andrews, brings up that what is occurring could be more akin to language, to music, something made to create emotional connection between whales, opposed to transferring specific information the way human language does. Ultimately, further research is necessary for humans to begin to have a true understanding of what exactly the purpose of sperm whale clicks are. In seeing the parallels between codas with all of their variations and structure in human language, it's easy to become hopeful about a potential marine language. But perhaps, as humans who rely so heavily day in and day out on language for communication and connection, we are hasty in assuming that whales would evolve to use sounds in a similar manner. As described, further studies must be done in order to conclude what exactly sperm whales are communicating about. So what does this entail? To further progress in our understanding of this potential language, a lot of data must be collected and processed. That 2022 article published in the journal iScience details how important machine learning is in assisting scientists with processing through recorded information. In particular, the use of AI greatly reduces the amount of time and labor involved. However, as most people know, AI requires vast amounts of data in order to be most accurate. Further developments in this field of research would take a lot of resources and effort. This is especially true since ideally the data collected would be coming from multiple sources, not just audio recordings alone. This would mean audio recordings, video recordings, information about the environment for contextual basis, and behavioral context. So, why care? Well, some people are hopeful that this knowledge could help with conservation efforts. A 2024 article published by the Associated Press reported how an associate professor of oceans at Stanford University, Jeremy Goldbogen, believes that if we do discover a way to understand sperm whales, that should be used in conservation efforts. Two examples he gave are avoiding collisions between whales and boats, as well as reducing noise pollution in the ocean. Some are also hopeful that simply by publicizing developments in this field of research, general awareness and support for sperm whales would increase, aiding conservation efforts. Today, I presented information on recent developments which indicate that sperm whales may have a phonetic language. I gave a brief overview of the way they communicate and the steps necessary to conclusively determine what they are communicating. Although much still needs to be researched, the possibility that sperm whales could have such a complex language is incredibly interesting. So, take the time to badger your friends with sperm whale facts next time you hear anything that reminds you of this. Thank you.